back to Recipe Wednesdays, everybody. How are we doing this week? I am officially done with my college classes for the semester, so I'm feeling pretty good. I have a lot less to do than normal, so I'm finally back to reading for pleasure again and doing macrame, stuff like that. And of course, I now have more time to cook and bake and make other things in the region of food. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I wanted to do this week because we chose gardening for our overall theme this week, and I couldn't think of the life of me what I could do besides like farm to table recipes. And it's still a little early for vegetables and other stuff like that you would be growing in your garden. And also, we don't grow a lot of vegetables at my house. So I thought about it, and then I thought, what could somebody who doesn't grow actual vegetables at their house do that comes from outside? So then I thought about foraging and stuff that people do all the time, but people don't necessarily realize that these are ingredients that you can use, and I automatically thought of dandelions. And I thought it would be really fun to show everybody a recipe today that you can literally just go out and pick dandelions in your backyard, making sure to leave most of them for the bees, of course, and make some butter, because people don't realize how easy it is to make butter at home. So this is going to sound a little weird, but today we are going to be making dandelion honey butter. So the first thing we're going to do in order to make our butter, I went out like 20 minutes ago and I picked a bunch of dandelions. Now, of course, you want to make sure that these are fresh when you are making this butter. So you want to pick them as close to you making it as possible. So I just went out and picked a bunch that we had in our backyard, and I found this giant one too. It's like the size of a small sunflower. It was huge, and I was like, ooh, perfect. So I picked it. After you go out and pick your dandelions, the next thing you want to do is make the butter. We're going to start with the butter first because you need the butter to make the actual dandelion honey concoction itself. So making butter is really easy. People don't realize how easy it is, and anybody can do it at home as long as you have a mason jar and a container of heavy cream. So you're going to open up the heavy cream, and you are going to fill your mason jar about halfway full of heavy cream. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to close up your mason jar, and then you are going to shake this for 5 to 7 minutes. At around 2 minutes, you're going to start to feel like you have a dense liquid in here that feels like the consistency of whipped cream, and then you're going to keep shaking it until you feel like there is a lump in your mason jar. And after that, you're going to shake it for about 60 more seconds to make sure that everything is solid, and you've got butter. So let's do this. So I've been shaking this jar continuously for about 7 minutes now, and my arms are very sore because it got heavy pretty quickly. I just want to point out that you could also do this in a stand mixer. You don't have to manually shake this yourself unless you want to get a good arm workout for the day. So that's what I did. I shook it myself. So let's open this up and see what we got. So once you've gotten your butter to a consistency that you like, you're just going to put it in a bowl, and then you're going to set it aside. So what we're going to do after we make the actual butter itself is we are going to pick the petals off the dandelions that we picked. We want to try to avoid getting any of the stem because the stem is very bitter. Still edible, but very bitter. So part of the reason that I picked dandelions for today's recipe is because everyone has access to them. And dandelions are very versatile when it comes to cooking with them. You can make dandelion tea, you can make dandelion jelly, you can make dandelion honey, you can make a lot of things with dandelions, and I wanted to make sure that we were doing something this week that everybody had access to, because not everybody has enough of a green thumb to be able to make a garden of food grow. And everybody has dandelions. All right, so once you've gotten as many petals as you can get from the amount of dandelions that you picked, which remember, when you go out picking, save some for the bees. They are the first food that the bees can come to in springtime. So we want to make sure that they have enough food to do their job, otherwise we wouldn't have a lot of foods that we enjoy. Because the pollination process affects fruits, it affects trees, it affects vegetables, it affects everything, a lot of things the bee. So we want to make sure that we are leaving enough for the bees. So after you've gotten your dandelion petals all picked and together, you are just going to add them to the butter that you made. Now I have about a half a cup of these that I could get from the dandelions that I picked. So I'm going to put in about half, and then I'm going to start mixing them in. And then I'm going to put in the rest. So once you have your dandelion petals all put in, the next thing you're going to do is add a few tablespoons of honey. And this can be to your taste. We're not doing a whole lot of measuring again today because everybody has different tastes. So I'm going to put in about 3 tablespoons of honey. After you've got your dandelion petals and your honey in with your butter mixture, the next thing you're going to do is get a piece of saran wrap, and you're just going to lie it flat on your working surface. So once you've got your saran wrap all laid out on your working surface, you are going to just put the butter mixture on one end, and then we are just going to try to roll it up into a little cylinder. The purpose of this is to make sure that the butter actually becomes butter and it can harden overnight. Now you're going to want to try to twist the ends while you are rolling this, and then shape it into a little cylinder. After you've got your butter all wrapped up in the saran wrap, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to put it in the refrigerator, and you are going to let it set and harden overnight. And then after that, take out your butter, put it on a piece of toast, put it on an English muffin, and that's it. That's how you make dandelion honey butter. I hope you enjoyed watching this video today, and I am very excited to be able to eat this. If you make this recipe, don't forget to share with us your final product, because we would love to see it. We want to get a lot of community engagement as we are separated in these tough times. So that's it. That's how you make dandelion honey butter. See you next week.